Welcome to the Talkin Vols Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. 2021 Biletnikoff Award winner Jordan Addison of Pitt is in the transfer portal. Probably the number one question I've been asked over the last couple of days, other than when is Brew McCoy going to commit, which was last night. Took care of that. But you guys want to know, is Tennessee really in play for Jordan Addison? There's a lot of mixed feelings here, depending on who you ask. We'll get into it. We'll talk about it. But as always, do me a favor. Go ahead and smash that like button just below the video. It's quick, it's free, it's easy. It helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the Talkin Vols Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We are fans just like you. For the fans, by the fans. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Article from 24/7 Sports says here, Jordan Addison enters transfer portal. Tennessee could pursue Pitt wide receiver. This is written by Brad Crawford. Now, right out of the gate, when you read that headline, Jordan Addison enters transfer portal, I don't know whether or not Tennessee is really in the mix for this thing. Again, it depends on who you ask. We'll get into that more in just a second here. But when I see the headline, the first thing that sticks out is that game with Pitt on September the 10th. And just recently, I made the video talking about expectations and pressure. And also we talked about it a lot on Sunday, looking at the schedule for 2022, that September 10th game on the road against Pitt. That is a swing game. A lot of people concerned, a lot of people nervous about that game against Pitt on September the 10th. Kenny Pickett off to the NFL, and now Jordan Addison in the transfer portal. Now he could end up back at Pitt. That's a possibility, highly unlikely. I think this is something we are going to see more as we get into this NIL transfer portal world, is you're going to see the best players in the country jump in the portal and see what type of money they can get. But that September 10th game on the road against Pitt just got a lot easier with Jordan Addison entering the transfer portal. Let's go ahead and take a look at the article here. Again, Brad Crawford, 24/7 Sports. Says here, Pitt wide receiver Jordan Addison entered the NCAA transfer portal Tuesday afternoon, and a 24/7 Sports national recruiting analyst suggested Tennessee to enter the group of schools in pursuit. Here's the quote. It says, with the emergence of Hendon Hooker and Josh Heupel's high-powered offense, the Vols will need to fill the production void left by receivers Velus Jones and Javonte Payton from last season. Possible solution in the quest of replacing 1,200 receiving yards and 13 touchdowns? Jordan Addison. Couple Addison's unique playmaking ability with one of the most efficient and explosive passing offenses in college football, not to mention the opportunity to play in college football's most competitive conference. And it's easy to see why this potential partnership makes sense for both sides. So let's kind of talk about that quote and break it down, talking about Hendon Hooker, Josh Heupel's offense, the production of Velus Jones Jr. and Javonte Payton. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Velus Jones and his production. Let's look at what he did prior to Josh Heupel coming into Tennessee. Velus Jones Jr., a guy that also transferred in from USC, but when you look at the stats, when you look at the numbers, what he did prior to Josh Heupel was not that impressive. You pull up his numbers from USC, did have 24 catches for 266 yards in 2018, and then 2020 he transfers to Tennessee. He has 22 catches, 280 yards, and 3 touchdowns under Jeremy Pruitt. Now, again, that's cornbread. Obviously, that's not much to gauge, much to go on there, but you look what he did in Josh Heupel, under Josh Heupel just a year later, 62 catches, 807 yards, and 7 touchdowns. And something I really like about Velus Jones Jr. and his numbers is the way that Josh Heupel used him. Originally he was on the outside, but Josh Heupel saw it better to move him into the slot. And then we really saw Velus Jones shine. And we really saw Josh Heupel put millions of dollars in Velus Jones' pocket by moving him to the slot and showing the world what he could do at that position. Same for Javonte Payton. Didn't have a lot of production, comes in under Josh Heupel, and he really explodes on the scene. Mr. Touchdown early in games. A lot of times Javonte Payton comes out, Josh Heupel's got something dialed up, goes and gets a touchdown early, then kind of fades off. But Javonte Payton's numbers really increased under Josh Heupel. And again, the reason I bring this up, because when you look at the wide receiver room, does Tennessee really need to go into the bank account? Because that's what they're going to do. If they're going to go get Jordan Addison, you're going to spend some money. You're going to use that NIL funds coming in from Spire Sports Group, and you're going to pay Jordan Addison. Is it worth it to spend that money on Jordan Addison, or do you pump it into the class of 23? Do you go get a guy like Carnell Tate, who Chad Simmons over at On3.com says is really close to pulling the trigger, and he's also got that crystal ball in there for Carnell Tate to Tennessee. So does Tennessee really need Jordan Addison right now via the transfer portal? Obviously, the addition of Brew McCoy last night, who is fully expected to start on the outside opposite of Cedric Tillman. You've got the emergence. You've got the work that Jalen Hyatt has put in the offseason. Nothing but praise for that kid from this coaching staff. We talked about how he needed to put on weight, get more physical, and that is exactly what he did in the offseason. So do you really need to dip into those NIL funds and go get a guy like Jordan Addison, or is this coaching staff now confident and satisfied with what they have in the wide receiver room? The article goes on here to say Tennessee signed 6 transfers this cycle and is one of numerous programs nationally taking advantage of name, image, and likeness. The Volunteers gained a verbal commitment from 5-star 23 quarterback Nico Iamaleava earlier this spring that immediately sparked conversation about the role NIL plays in recruiting college football's top prospects. Look, it is what it is. You can love it, you can hate it, but the bottom line is you've got to adapt, you've got to grow. It is the new college football. You're going to have to get with the program, and Tennessee, again, was ahead of the curve with Spire Sports Group. On3 just recently put out an article naming Spire Sports Group the #1 NIL collective in the country. Tennessee was ahead of the curve, and we are reaping the rewards in the class of 23. Goes on here to talk a little bit more about Jordan Addison. Says as a Heisman finalist and first-round pick, Kenny Pickett's top target last fall, Addison hauled in 100 catches for 1,600 yards and 17 touchdowns, lighting up ACC defenses with impressive speed, agility, and a knack for getting open. Says here he started 8 games as a true freshman in 2020 as the ACC's Rookie of the Year runner-up before setting the single-season record for receptions during a breakout sophomore campaign. And look, there's no doubt about it. Jordan Addison comes to Tennessee. It is going to vastly improve this offense. It is going to make Hendon Hooker's Heisman campaign skyrocket. This guy would be a huge addition to this offense. I just don't know that Tennessee is really in play. And look, we can go look at a tweet from Jason Swain yesterday. Let me get that pulled up for you guys on the screen. Here's the tweet from Swain. Says, good decision, young man. Got the devil face emoji, which got a lot of people talking. You can go and look at the comment section, and everybody is questioning, what's the devil? Interesting emoji you can see there from your friend Bob. Nobody comes in. He's just messing, not going to be at Pitt, and we play them. Swain said as much on his show. And again, that's the angle I'm taking here. I don't think Jordan Addison ends up at Tennessee, but I think we as Tennessee fans are going to get some benefit from him hitting the portal. You can go on and see, again, the eyeball emoji, shocker, everybody looking at it. Oh, somebody's picking up the phone and calling. But then you can see here at the end of the day, Swaino's got the Southern Cal logo, and that's what all signs seem to indicate that Jordan Addison is heading to USC. But again, Tennessee going to get some benefit. You guys know what to do. Hit that comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Is Tennessee going to be in the mix, or is it all just speculation? If you haven't done so yet, please hit that thumbs up on the way out the door. Also, go check out the official merchandise of the Talkin VAWLS Network. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Any and all support, greatly appreciated. Thank you guys for tuning in. We just hit 12,000 subscribers, and that is because of you guys. We appreciate the support. We appreciate the love. But that's going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.